Hello, Jay Ankney Brown. Hello, all those of you out there in virtual land. Happy Tuesday. Are you in Texas?
I'm in Atlanta. You might as well say Texas. It's just as cold here. Just as cold. It's like
No,
29,
no,
20. Nowhere near what they're going
no,
through in Texas. Okay.
no.
Shouts out to
Jay,
Texas, yes.
right now,
Uh, that's Texas. What is that? 18 degrees? Oh my
yeah,
God.
and the snow
Wow.
hasn't started. The next round of snow has not started yet. We're supposed to have
Wow.
another snowstorm tonight.
Blame Ted
And
Cruz and
and,
his
and
mullet haircut. No, it's Ted Cruz's fault. Everything.
everything is Ted's fault. Yes.
Everything is Ted Cruz's fault.
Yes, even our ignorant governor is probably blaming
Yeah.
Ted Cruz and
Yes.
all of the people who are cursing in the darkness because they have no power, no
And they
electricity, no
shouldn't.
lights.
Well, they have their own private grid. So, that's why Texas doesn't have any power. They didn't want the government's assistance.
But they
So they
didn't
got,
do the and see the dogs are
yeah,
upset too.
the
Um,
dog agrees. The
he agrees with you. But Jay, we've had, I mean, 100-degree days for like 2-3 months in a row. So that kind of power, why did not they not consider that on the other side in terms of how they were delivering power in the wintertime? Because
because it's easier for them to go through what it is they're going through now and say, government, help us, as opposed to before when they said, well, we don't need the government, we'll do it ourselves. Now they really need assistance from the government, and they see that private entities are not good at, running a power grid to heat and warm up all of Texas.
yeah, and because they don't want
It's
the
just,
responsibility, the
they
government
don't want the
doesn't want the
responsibility,
responsibility,
right?
right? But here's
Like I
the
said, I
thing.
blame Ted Cruz.
But lives have been lost.
I mean,
People.
more lives are going to be lost. So, well, you know that, because
Yeah.
the cold is really harder to deal with than hot weather. You can
Well, here's
somewhat
the
find
thing.
shelter.
There's one story about a mother and a daughter. They lost the electricity in their house, and so they went to their car in their garage to stay warm, and the carbon monoxide killed them.
Right, right.
It's yeah, this is just one story. All of the accidents and it's mismanagement. They were
It
just
is.
and it was a type of greed that doesn't look out and have a picture of the future and the well-being of their people.
Well,
They're
that
just
type of greed
concerned
is the
about
same
making money.
thing that happened in Flint. It's
Yeah,
kind of like the
yeah,
same thing that happened
yeah,
in Flint, that they
yep,
they figured, well, we can save a buck on this end by doing this and switching to this, but it doesn't take a concern in terms of the well-being of most people who are affected by that. And
yeah,
so this is what they
yeah.
do. This is how they line their pockets, and this is how they get private
And
entities
that's
involved. A
yeah,
private company owns the power, and the same thing with the prison. It's the same thing. The water, the power, the same thing. And at the end, who suffers are people who are sitting waiting for to have power, and they should have power. They really should. So
yeah. And now these same people who are sitting in their plush offices, they still have power if they had to get out of their homes at all to go to work. And unfortunately, a lot of people who are working from home don't have electricity to do it. It's just all because of the virus.
which means they can't work.
Yeah, yeah.
You're right. You're
So here we
absolutely right.
are. That's
You're
what you
right.
need to know about what's going on here. And shouts out to the people in North Carolina who were affected by that tornado that came through last night. Actually, last night into this morning. It was near North Myrtle Beach, Jay, and several people were killed there.
I know the area well. And one thing about Myrtle, maybe they can knock the word plantation off all those damn hotels down there because it's amazing. I don't know if you've ever been to Myrtle Beach, but a lot of those places still hold the name plantation. So maybe,
Yeah.
I hope the people are safe, but I hope it did knock off the word plantation on all those resorts that are down in the area.
Well, let's hope that they're safe, and that despite the names of these places, that people
Yes.
but that's the ferocity of, or is it ferocity of this storm,
Either
because this
word,
is all a
either
part
word. I've
of.
never heard either one of them. Either one of those words, I never. So when you came at me with it, I went, okay. So you gotta live it out there, Sybil, because I had no idea the hell you were talking. I know the word veracity. I know veracity. I've heard that word.
It's based upon ferocious. That's how intense this storm
Yes,
was.
yes, yes.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So Jay, are you as interested? Oh, we have a comment here. Okay. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my. Pink Elephant 26 Armstrong says, "Did you hear that the Mississippi the Mississippi Congressman Benny Thompson, along with the NAACP and others, are filing suit against the former President Donald Trump and others? Let's
Yes,
get this
I've
show
heard
on the
about this.
road."
Yes, and he's
And
suing under the Ku Klux Klan law. Isn't that great?
yeah, from 1871. And for further information
Yes.
on that, please take a look at the What You Need to Know newsletter tomorrow. Yes, that is the story that we're doing in there, along with a look at the weather and the temperatures, the record low temperatures that have been set, as well as a look at the people in North Carolina who are affected by this tornado in February.
Tornado in February.
In
You know
February,
what?
just
Getting back to the Ku Klux Klan law that they're suing Trump and Rudy Giuliani under, that
and
that
the Proud Boys and
and the Proud Boys, right, and the 2%, is it 3%ers or the 1%ers or whatever, they
yeah.
have not lost many cases filing under that particular law. So Trump's going to be in litigation for a long time. I don't see him running for anything except for the border to hide. No.
So this 1871 law, the Klan law, as they call it, it's this is what they are using for it, and they are saying that um, they filed this lawsuit on behalf of not only Benny Thompson, who is the congressman from Mississippi, but he also chairs the House Homeland Security Committee. So he's probably going to have a lot of information for them as well. And other members of the Congress, also Democratic Congress people, are going to also be a part of this suit. And it cites the violation of the Ku Klux Klan law passed in response to Klan violence and intimidation against Southern members of the Congress. And they say that former presidents are exempt from lawsuits over their official actions while in office, but they can be sued over conduct that was not a part of their duties. And they said that this behavior had nothing to do with his responsibilities as president. And so ask you to take a look at that tomorrow. And it also points to the comments made by, which are on the record, the speech made by Mitch McConnell. He said, "We have a criminal justice system in this country. We have civil litigation and former." Yeah. And speaking of which,
I said last week, don't ever listen to what Mitch McConnell says. You can just write it off as nothing. It's what he does. And he voted to not impeach this guy. And as soon as he did that, he came out with a speech that was lambasting. And here's the thing, so they're going to remember his speech more than his vote. And that's the if you have to use a better word, that's the brilliance of Mitch McConnell. He can't go against the Proud Boys and the Republicans, and what's on record is his speech. But what he did, he voted to make sure that he's not impeached. So whatever Mitch McConnell says means nothing. It's what he does. And he did what I thought he was going to do anyway, not to impeach.
Well, Donald Trump has come out swinging against McConnell today. And he called him everything but a child of God. And so he's in his feelings. He says they need a new leader, that he never was a leader, and they need a new leader of the Republican Party. This is what Donald Trump said.
And Mitch McConnell looks at it this way. I'm
sorry, Jay, go ahead.
I say Mitch McConnell looks at it this way. I'm in DC and you're not. So Mitch McConnell doesn't give a shit.
I'm here,
I'm
you're
here,
there.
and you're not. And so Mitch McConnell doesn't really give a shit about what Donald Trump is, secondhand tweeting, secondhand texting. So it doesn't really matter. And that's the thing about Mitch McConnell. Nothing bothers him. Nothing shakes him. Nothing bothers him. He has his eyes set on what he's going to do, and he does it that way. And at the end of the day, like I said, he's in D.C. and Trump's, getting fat on a golf cart. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't really
Yolanda
matter.
just asked me, how did he say it? And I thought she meant like you were going to do your impersonation of Donald Trump. And this is how he
Mitch
said
McConnell
it.
said, well, what he did was it just basically it should be locked up and should be tried.
Donald Trump issued a statement calling him a dour, sullen, and unsmiling political hack. He didn't write any of this.
Mitch McConnell won his office, his election, hands down. You lost the Senate, the White House, and you lost the White House in 2 seats. So, like I said, Mitch McConnell doesn't give a shit about what Donald Trump is saying because I'm in D.C. and you're not.
And you're... He said if Republican senators are going to stay with him, they will not win again. In the statement, he said he will never do what needs to be done or what is right for our country. He's really in his feelings about what McConnell said about him on Saturday.
It's like that. It's like that. That song. Why don't you pick up your feelings? Who sings that? I bust a window out your car. She has a new song.
Oh, Jasmine Sullivan. Yeah, that's an anthem.
Yeah. Get out your feelings. But the Republican parties are imploding within themselves.
Yeah.
There's like we talked last week about 4 different entities: the Proud Boys, Trump, Mitch McConnell. Ted Cruz is and everybody's trying to run for president. I think the thing to keep our eye on, Sybil, would be the people in South Carolina. That's going to be the powerhouse with Nikki Haley, Tim Scott, and Lindsey Graham. Those three are really going to strike out in terms of running for the president in the next time that they run for the election. And
so you think do you think Tim Scott's going to run?
It would be a great ticket to have Nikki Haley and Tim Scott. I think that would show
a ticket. So she would run as president, and he
would run as vice president. Because he's good at grinning. That's all he does is fucking grin.
And he'll be and he'll be going to funerals and stuff and all of that stuff.
Yeah. But that's where I don't see South Carolina changing over from the Republican Party as it is. Maybe North Carolina, definitely Georgia, but there's a stronghold of Republicans in South Carolina.
Did you see that David Perdue is going to run for the Senate again?
Don't he have some insider trading shit he got to deal with first?
Well, he has some other issues to finish off first, to clear up before.
I think it's beautiful though. It's like I hope Warner just takes the attitude. I'll whip your ass once and I'll beat your ass again. And I don't think he can, if he gets in there and does some good stuff for the people of Georgia. Yeah. So but
I think Reverend Warnock is on his way to doing really great things. And so by the time, they really start to campaign, but once again, he's campaigning now. He has opened up his campaign file. So in order to get money. And so as he noted, John Ossoff won more money in California, not won, but collected more money in California than he did, than Perdue did in all of Georgia. And so,
Does this come under the heading of Jamie out of South Carolina to help raise money for Democrats?
Oh yeah, because he's head of the whole party now. He's not just South Carolina, he's head of the whole party. And so and that's primarily why he is where he is, because of the historic numbers that he made in his Senate campaign against Lindsey Graham. He knows how to go out there and make money. And so Not only is he just a really nice guy and loves the Democratic Party and was a good candidate, but he also knows how to raise money. And that's
Yeah,
going to
I
be
see
key
him.
for all of
I
these
see.
elections.
I see him and Stacey working together to raise money for Warnock, so they can get a jump on, running against Purdue,
Hmm.
who's running after that. I mean, he got lambasted. He really got his ass beat. So but he does have a head start in terms of starting now. But he got his behind whooped, and I think one thing about a loss, you learn from a loss. So who knows what he
Right.
might do. So you got a Warnock has to keep looking over his
And
shoulder.
and it's nothing like somebody who's been scorned, and so now he's going to come back with a lot of vengeance, and so, but it's going
Right.
to be interesting to see how he lost to John Ossoff, and now how he'll lose to Raphael Warnock in 2022. So then maybe he'll get the message. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was really interesting that about this time yesterday, we were talking about the fact that he had filed to run for this particular office again. So
Like I
we'll
said,
see.
but doesn't, excuse me, he has some insider trading stuff that I think the state of
That
Georgia
was
should be
that
dealing
was
with.
that was also at the same time that Kelly Loeffler was in the Senate, wasn't it?
Right.
That was the same kind, but they were cleared of that. Oh, they were
Oh,
cleared,
okay.
but that doesn't mean that it can't come back up
No.
as fodder for the next campaign on Warnock's part.
Well, I don't think he'll be on. I don't think he'll be Warnock. It's just, and it's
No,
also
but I'm
just a
just
waste of
saying
time.
they're going to have a campaign, so they might as well. I
Right.
mean, it'll be something that Warnock will bring up to, do you want to go back to this guy who was being investigated for insider trading, or do you want to go with somebody who is now getting you your coronavirus stimulus checks, who is, keeping the lights on in your state, who is, whatever it is, as compared to what they're not doing in the state of Texas.
Right.
And I promised you that I would, get up every morning and go to work. And that's what I've done. And so, and I don't think that he's going to be that far behind in raising money, because all you have to do is have that notice of the filing, and his people are going to work on raising money for him, including, your friends, Jamie Harrison and Stacey Abrams.
Not to mention, Sybil, he wasn't. Purdue wasn't good on. Wasn't good. He only did one debate.
No,
So
and it was awful.
wonder if he's
Yeah.
gonna. I wonder if he's gonna, go back into that where I'm going to run, but I'm not going to debate anybody. And it
Right,
really
right,
hurt him in
right.
terms of
Yeah, because
running
John
for the race.
Ossoff just dusted the floor with him in that first debate, and and the only thing I can hope is that he'll pick up some tips from Kelly Loeffler in her debate with the. She did such a sterling job there, didn't she?
Yeah, white women have this ability to just smile and look into the camera, and in some cases, like when you're getting on the elevator, it works, but it doesn't work when you're running for office. So who knows?
Right. And what she learned that, didn't she?
She learned that lesson really quick.
So, Jay, do you remember back in the day when we talked about security at the White House and how poor it was, and that somebody walked up into the Obama White House? Do you remember that? Was it a man or
Remember
a woman
the couple that went to the party? Was it Obama's party
Well,
or
that
Clinton's
not
party?
only that, they did pass security, and they were part of was it the Real Housewives of the Potomac? Of
Yes,
DC.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and they managed to get in. But this is somebody who just off the street. You remember somebody walked into the White House when the Obamas were there, and we talked about how security was so lax in those instances with the White House dinner as well as this. And so now we have some better security. And over the weekend, Secret Service agents near the White House arrested an armed woman after she claimed she had a letter to present to President Biden. 66-year-old Sylvia Hall and her male companion drove up to a checkpoint in downtown DC, informing agents that they were there to meet the president and had a handwritten letter to deliver to him. And then they asked about some other things, and then sure enough, they did a search of the vehicle, resulting in the discovery of a loaded gun and a BB gun. She was
It's
arrested
amazing.
and charged with
It's
possession of
amazing
an
how
unregistered firearm.
you just cannot get past the stupidity of these Kool-Aid drinkers of Trump. You just cannot. And they're still out there. And I was really surprised how Lindsey Graham just gave the Republican Party to Trump. Trump's in charge of it, and it doesn't do anything but hurt the Republican Party. The split is in the bag. You know what I mean? Simple. The split is in the bag. They're like we said earlier, they're imploding. They don't know. They don't have a leader and they don't have a plan. They have neither one. They don't have a leader and they don't have a plan. And
Well,
shouts out
security is better. I'll say that for him.
shouts out to Joe Biden for not going down a rabbit hole and just saying, I'm going to focus on this, the vaccine. I'm going to focus on getting these people this money. I'm going to have town hall meetings. I'm going to make sure these scientists come out and tell people the truth of what's going on. And I think he's going to persuade some people to come over on this side once they start getting the help that they thought they didn't need,
Right.
from the coronavirus.
Well, this will be interesting. Tonight will be the test because this is where is he? Wisconsin?
Yes.
For the town hall. Yeah.
It's a Trump state,
and,
right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very much so. And with that crazy senator who is running for re-election, and his opponent is saying, you're an idiot, and I'm coming for you. So with a billboard. So Wisconsin, the cheesehead state.
I was like, waiting with a lot of these elections coming up, and the Lincoln Project is also imploding within themselves. What's going to happen? Yeah. What's going to happen with an entity like that? Does it no longer exist, or is something else going to come out?
That's going to be interesting to see because right now, even though he is a part, he's like a consultant for that for that organization, and there are very few Black people who are really at the forefront of the Lincoln Project, and that's part of the discussion that's being had, saying that it's up being run just like the Republican Party, being run by all white guys, and so it's going to be interesting to see.
You're talking about the guy who was head of the GOP at one time was part of the Lincoln.
The Republican Party, yeah, Michael
Steele.
Steele, yeah.
Yeah, Michael Steele. Well, here's my problem with Michael Steele, Sybil. Nobody listened to him when he was in the Republican Party. Nobody listened to shit Michael Steele had to say, and it was just a figurehead that they put him in charge of it. And now he's switching over. I don't know, is he a Republican? Is he a Democrat?
Yeah.
Because he goes on he's on both channels. I've seen him over it. He goes over to Fox.
I think he's a Republican in the real sense of the word. I think his hatred and distaste for Donald Trump has moved him out of the party because the party is Donald Trump right now. And so I think what we're going to have, Jay, is a split of Trumplicans, if you want to, whatever they're going to be called. Maybe they're going to be called the Proud Boys. I don't know, and girls. But I think you're going to have different parties. I mean, you see it within the Democratic Party. You see a very, very middle of the road kind of Democratic Party, which is Joe Biden. You see those that are a little more to the right, which is like Joe Manchin of West Virginia, the senator from West Virginia. He's much more conservative. And then you see those on the left, like Bernie and AOC and folks like that. So you might have a schism there between the Democratic Party as well as the Republican Party.
Well, one thing that the Democratic Party has, which is, quote unquote, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, is the fact that they're doing things that seem to be positive in terms of helping people, which is something Trump never did, which is something the Democrats couldn't do.
He did. He saved his millionaire friends lots of money, lowering their taxes.
I'm talking about
who
the little people, quote unquote,
who support him but are getting the shaft by
right. So once these stimulus checks started going on and they tried to get a bigger handle on the virus, and maybe some things start to open up. That's the plus that the Democrats have that the Republicans don't have. They're in this position now to complain and point fingers and do whatabouts. Well, what about this and what about that? I kind of like the attitude that the president is taking, that to hell with that. I'm going to stay focused on what I'm trying to do, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to make this country better for people. And I see
Yeah.
him doing that.
I think he's that kind of guy. I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely do.
Yeah.
And see him as wanting to help this country. But I
Right.
think that also the different sides, especially those to the left, like who is it? Was it Susan Sarandon that went after Biden like last week? She's a Bernie supporter, and about what he was doing, and the minimum wage and things like that, and things that he had promised. I think that's the distraction that the party doesn't need at this time. But I do think that you're going to hear more from Bernie, because he is a more progressive dude. As far he's not even a Democrat. When you think about
No,
it,
he's
he's
not.
an independent.
He's not even. He's an independent, and he's really set on this $15. And from a guy who owns a business in LA,
Mm-hmm.
that $15 hurts. It really does with small business people. But when you think about it, the average person can't live off. Some places they're making $7 an hour. The
Yeah,
minimum wage is $7 an
right,
hour. And
right.
in terms of they're reporting their tips, LA is very aggressive in terms of paying $15 an hour. You get to keep your tips. There were some nights on in that comedy club, the wait staff made way more money than I did.
Right. Yeah, that's a sad truth.
But I mean, that's what you can't live off $7 an hour. You
Right.
can't live off $10 an hour. So I think it's fair, even though it hurts. You know what I mean?
Manchin, who is one of those who wants to see an increase, but he says for people in his state, which is West Virginia, they don't require, their cost of living doesn't require them to have $15 an hour. So he said we would do better at $11 an hour. What do you think about a kind of scattered minimum wage around the
I would,
country?
I would like to see it across the board, $15 an hour. And the reason being why, when you have somebody making $300,000 and $400,000 and $600,000, to argue the fact that somebody was going to make $11 an hour when it's only
Mm-hmm.
four more fucking dollars, give them a damn $4 so they can make $15 an hour and call it a day. And the thing is, when you set a minimum wage for people, it does hurt small businesses. But then there's
Yeah.
some businesses that are going to go out because they can afford to pay it. But you have people like, big, I'm just calling names out. I'm not trying to start another, like Best Buy and Amazon, and they can pay the higher wages. So if it's even across the board, I think it helps the standard of living for everybody, even though it does
Yeah,
hurt. It
it
really does.
it is going to lift all of us poorly paid boats. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see how this all goes, though.
Yes,
And
I
speaking,
feel bad for Biden that he couldn't get that, the $1,400 or actually the $2,000 that he wanted, connected with the $15 minimum wage, which was what he promised. But he's got
yeah,
so many other
but
things that he's working on, and
he
just
says
keep
that
trying.
he's going to have that as a standalone bill, and so we'll
Right,
see,
right.
especially where the Senate and the House stand on that. But the good thing that he's also doing is opening up the Affordable Care Department Act's website, so that people can get Obamacare for the next
Yes,
4
yes, that's
months.
right, white people. It's called Obamacare, okay? Because it's still, we know you didn't want it, but you're taking your ass down there signing up, aren't you? Yeah, they didn't want it. Yeah. And it was so cool that Trump tried so hard for the whole 4 years. And I think the problem with Trump is, if he was going to get rid of it, he never had anything to replace it with. He kept saying
Mhm.
a plan is coming, and it's the end thing now. It's Obamacare, it's Affordable Care Act that people really need in this country. It's a shame that we live in this country where you can't just go to the doctor and get help. You go out of this country, you go to Canada, you go overseas, you go any place. You just go to the doctor. You just go. You get whatever it is you need. And we're richer than all the other places, but yet we don't have it. So shouts out to Biden for putting it into effect. so people
And
can
to bring in that, and at least, extending the sign-up period until May
right.
15th, and so
He
go to
also extended.
healthcare.gov.
He also extended the law that allows landlords to put people
Yeah,
out. Yeah,
and the moratorium on
the
evictions.
moratorium on that, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. You can hate
Absolutely.
as much as you want, but if you're behind your rent and you go, well, does
Okay,
that
now
help
your
me?
lights might not be on, but you still got a place to stay. But that's the truth of it. He has, that and paying back student debt and other things that he's still, working to make it happen. So it's I think he's on the
Now,
right path.
for me, Sybil, the main thing would be the voting rights law. That
Hmm.
I think that should be. I just hope that doesn't get swept up under the rug
I
or
don't think
forgotten
so.
about.
I don't think so.
I
I
just
don't
hope
think so.
so because to me that is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because if we have the voting rights law passed where we can vote freely and not have all this shenanigans that they're doing, you can
Hmm.
see that by voting, black people, brown people, Hispanic, gays, lesbian, whatever, it changes things. And by the fact that they make it easier for us to vote, it changes things across the board. And Republicans know the easier it is to vote, the
Yeah.
more
More.
likely that they don't
The
win.
more
They
difficult it's
know
going to
that.
be for them to win.
And
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And hopefully it will stop states like Georgia or Texas that try to, to cut down, eliminate the number of voting places, the days of early voting, all of that stuff. That's
Well,
that's that's
I heard
big.
somebody on another talk show come up with the idea that make voting day a holiday and maybe get rid of some of the other holidays. And that would be good
But you
that people
know,
are off from work.
how
And
many years has somebody like Reverend Jesse Jackson been talking about that, making it a holiday? Tom, picked up on that idea too.
yeah, and easier to vote,
It's
right?
yeah, yeah, a day off. And why Tuesday? Why can't who decided that Tuesday was the day? You know,
And why these little shitty small states upstate get to vote before everybody else? This little
hey,
this little,
that makes for a fun news story every day after the election when
what
Hicksville
state is that?
Notch.
I can't think of what state
It's
is it.
New
So
Hampshire.
New Hampshire, man, whatever, man.
Hicksville
Give me a break.
Notch. Yes, is the
It would be
little
great if
city
it was the same.
hamlet.
If maybe all the primaries were held at the same time. Why not do it that
That
way?
would
I
be
mean,
that would be an impossibility for those who are trying to to campaign, though. I mean, it's one thing to do it for the general election, but to have everything done, and and
at the
and
same
that
time,
it's going to be exciting. Oh, speaking of which, Jay, we have not talked about this today. Today, and we didn't even talk about it in the newsletter, and I'm sorry. Happy Mardi Gras.
There's
Today
no
is
Mardi Gras. It's out. There's
today is
no Mardi
Mardi
Gras.
Gras.
They're not having. Yeah.
Well,
So
no parades,
no
because of the
parade.
virus. They closed
But you.
down bars and
Mhm.
places in New Orleans and other places. I'm assuming where the original Mardi Gras happened in
But
Alabama.
you do have the right to get drunk in your own house and piss in your front yard if you want.
Yes. So, Mr. Free, if
Yeah.
you're watching or you're listening or you're, having but you know what is the coolest thing? Because they're not having the parades this year. They didn't have the parades. They had people adorn their houses to
Decorating
decorate
the
their houses
houses.
to look
Right.
like a float. And
Yes.
this one woman came up with the idea, and so people all along
Yeah.
routes were
We've been to
decorating
New
their
Orleans.
homes.
We've been to New Orleans, and them big ass houses are scary enough. Okay, you don't have to put shit on those houses. them big ass houses built in the 1700s are frightening enough. Okay, but
Yeah.
shouts out to Mardi Gras, and I'm sure if they're doing it in New Orleans, they're doing it in Mobile, which, as you know, that's where Mardi
There's
Gras
a first.
was started.
Yeah. We used to get that every year. Every year
Yeah,
there was somebody who
we
was
started
calling
Mardi
or
Gras.
texting. Yeah,
But
yeah.
we've been to both, and as much as you can say, Mobile does have a nice Mardi Gras celebration. They
Mhm.
really do, but it's not like New Orleans, okay? It's
But
nice.
it's a great celebration. And it's kind of sad. People just like going and buying the king cakes in the grocery store while they're, piling up all this other food that, we've been going to the store to get in the midst of a storm. And it's different.
It's gonna cut down on fights. It's gonna cut down on drunkenness. It's gonna cut down on people just being
on the
lost
street, but not in your house.
and not in your house, right? The streets of New Orleans are gonna smell like urine the day after, so it's a plus.
But
maybe every other year they should have it.
Do you remember that we were there the night of that last night, and how efficient all of the sanitation workers came in and were cleaning that stuff up?
As soon as it's over, right?
Oh my God! Go home! But remember the drunk guy, hanging on to the parking meter, and he just they worked around him. They cleaned up around him.
For those of you who've never been to Mardi Gras, we don't know why, we can't understand it, but the coconut is a special symbol for Mardi Gras. So myself, Mr. Dupree, Sybil Wilkes, Tom Joyner, we're on the front.
Myra.
And Myra J, and they told us, do not give away all your coconuts and your beads, so that when you go under the bridge and people who live in our New Orleans know
time it, spread it out.
Pace yourself. So when you get under the bridge where our people are, you have something there. Well, we didn't listen to that. We were just throwing stuff out. So by the time we got to under the bridge, we were out. We had given away all our
we didn't even get that far. We were like, we were taking beads off of our own necks and throwing them out.
They cussed us out so bad. I thought it was gonna be a riot. They were so upset with us.
And Jay said, I have been cussed out by some of the best Black women in the world, but I have never been cussed out like this.
They called us all kinds of names.
Oh,
we had a nice time. We had a great time.
But we love your show, baby.
We love your show.
Okay.
When do you think it'll be back to normal, Sybil? When do you ever see it coming back to normal?
I don't think the remainder of this year.
No.
I'm hoping that, by the time people get everybody gets the second vaccination or whatever number they require, I think it'll be close to Thanksgiving, Christmas, if that. What about you?
Wow. I'm with you. I think this year is a wash. But what's good about it? Now that you don't have they were talking today on another station, now that you don't hear as much negativity about the virus and as much negativity about the vaccine and as much negativity about anything, people are coming around and saying, well, maybe we should take the shot. Well, maybe we should listen to the scientists because that whole negative spew is no longer exists. And numbers are dropping because people are double masking.
Yeah.
People are not going to a lot of parties like they would have gone, and people are taking it serious now. So, which is a good thing. And I think you have that. You have Biden the Biden administration to.
I think so. They're doing, and of course, don't let us not forget Dr. Anthony Fauci. And
I wish I could do his voice.
I know you've been trying.
Yeah, I've been working on it. But it's so cool to see him talk now because
he's free.
He can really
he is
say
so free.
what he has to say, and and not listen to Trump, and not look over his shoulder and worry.
Are you having an
earthquake? No, that's my camera just shaking. Don't worry about it. It's good. I'm in Atlanta for an earthquake.
One thing that I do like and that I will always support Delta Airlines for, and I had the opportunity to fly them when I went to Atlanta before the election and working with Black Voters Matter.
Are they going to keep that? Because I noticed that when I flew this week.
Well, they're the only ones right now that are still doing it.
It is great, Sybil. It really is.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
But on the other hand, I flew Delta, but on the other hand, air travel has dropped so much. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have to make their money where they can. But I do appreciate what Delta has done. And so
I wish the other airlines would do it too. You're right.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Jay, we talked about this story yesterday with our young social activist Coy Malone, and Chris and Huggy also had an opinion on this. Um, but here's the story of a young woman. She's a 27-year-old pharmacy graduate student at the University of Tennessee, and she's Black. She has filed a lawsuit against the school after being faced with expulsion in September for posting photos on social media. Now, this young woman, Kimberly, and it's Di, is a voluptuous young Black woman. And do we still have her picture, Yolanda? And so they were concerned about her social media postings, and this is some of what she's posted. This is her during her day work as a pharmacy graduate student, and this is her during her off hours.
Hello. Okay.
So Jay, the question, and for me, I'm that old girl who, I think that, if the way you present yourself, I I don't like it. And she says,
You don't
she
like it at
wants
all?
to not the postings that I've seen. No, because as one who, and I said this last night, as one who developed very early in life, and I never liked the idea of old men or older boys, liking me because of my body, and I wanted them to like me because of my mind. And so Yolanda said that wasn't her case. But I think as a pharmacy student, and that's a tough business.
Right.
Um, she's trying to be a brand ambassador and things like that. But the other part of the story is that she's also trying to get in with like Megan the Stallion and Cardi B to do a remix of the WAP song. So what do you want to do? Do you want to be a pharmacology student or pharmacy student, or do you want to be the next Megan the Stallion
Well,
and
see,
Cardi B?
here's the double standard, Sybil. If it was a man showing off how cut he was and how much time he spent in the gym, if he was, he had a body like mine, just in shape, just,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
just if I ripped his shirt off, you'd be ready to go, whoa. You know what I mean?
Wow.
If it was a
How many
man,
how many
how,
packs is that?
if it was a man, I don't think people would have any problem. And so we live in a society now, Sybil, where you're able to do things now that you couldn't do before because
Yeah.
of social media, and it has changed the game. So if she wants to post, to me, if she wants to post these pictures of herself and how she looks, but let this be a warning: every big person shouldn't post pictures. Okay, we don't want all y'all. Oh, y'all
I brought the
judges.
example of Professor
Yeah,
Clump, for
yeah,
example.
yeah. What I'm saying is, with this whole attitude for the changing of the situation, I'm just saying, if that's what she wants to do, it's shouldn't
What
she be
if it
allowed
was
to do that?
your daughter, your graduate student daughter?
If it was my daughter, I wouldn't look at him. I just wouldn't look at him. I would allow her the right to, because at that particular age, you say, this is what I want to
Yeah, well,
do,
she's
and
27. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, who's to stop me, and who's to say I shouldn't do this, and the pictures might say, well, she looks good. Let me see if she's smart. So we don't know. I know what you're
Yeah.
saying. You're saying
And
no.
do
You're saying
that. Okay. George Wallace says she works from 9 to 5. It's not your business.
yeah. I'm with George on it. And it's a few times I agree
You
with
and
George on
George
anything.
agree. I know.
Yeah, it's her damn
Wow.
business. If she
Stop
wants
the
to show her
presses.
behind, and the thing about being a pharmacist, you up high anyway. Nobody can see what you're doing any damn way. So I always wondered
Period.
about that. What are y'all doing
Myra,
up there? Why
Myra is
y'all?
also chiming in. She shouldn't mix WAP. She shouldn't mix
Look,
WAP and prescriptions.
look. I'm pretty sure it's. I'm pretty sure if she's a pharmacist, she got some stuff to help you walk. Don't worry about that. I'm pretty sure there's some. You got a walk problem? Here, try a tube of this.
You have a gas problem. She can help you with that too. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I love her. Yes, let her do what she's doing. But social media has changed things. We're
It
no
changed
longer
the game.
we are no longer sharing pictures by the photo booth. Here, look at this, and pictures in your album. They're all in your phone. If you want to get naked, you can get naked. And shouts out to her.
And
I wish.
you can get paid
Yeah,
for it too.
yeah, and I'm telling you, the pharmacy that I go to, you don't want to see them with their clothes off. So that would be. You don't want to see them naked.
You don't care how high up they are. Huh?
I don't give a damn how high you guys are up. No. So shouts out to her. Shouts out to her. Yes. Do your thing, girl.
And she wants to be like in nuclear pharmacology or something like that, nuclear medicine. So it's pretty deep. She's not a dumb girl. She went to University of Chicago, and now she's
the
in
fact
this
that she's a pharmacist proves she's not. It takes a long time
because
to become a pharmacist,
tough.
right?
That really is. That's one of the toughest professions ever.
Can you give me some Percodan? Percodan. I need some Percodan.
You don't need any of the blue stuff?
No, I got plenty of that. They have a spray now, Sybil, so it's quicker.
Do they now?
Yeah, and they also have a dip, so it's very.
It's a dip. Okay. My cousin, and I was looking for his text to me. His daughter just graduated from University of Chicago last year in like aeronautical engineering or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now she just got accepted to Yale's PhD program in biomedical engineering. So first of all, I owe him a belated birthday call. But secondly, I want to find out what he would think if his daughter, who is as smart as this young woman, and did that kind of thing. I'm just.
Well,
really
here's the
curious.
thing: what you think and what you can control, what you think and what you can
And that's
control
true.
are two
That's
different
true.
things.
Yeah.
I mean, you could think one thing, but can you control it? Can you say you need to put your clothes on, and will she listen to you? And when she stop, she's making a decision. And I've seen. You watch TikTok. You've seen a lot of these military ladies. You see them first in their military outfit, and then
they're off
and
hours.
they're showing.
Yeah.
So fire women do it, police women do it, and doctors do it. So she's a nice looking girl, and she wants to show her body. Yeah, hit me up at no, How old is she? How old is she, Sybil?
27. She's too young. She's 27.
Nah, Sybil.
Jay.
They're never too young. They're never too young.
Jay.
Never. Yes, 27.
What,
yeah,
what
do the
did
math.
you used to say? Yeah, I know. You do the math. You do the math. Remind us how the math goes.
Let's see. Near 70 goes into 20. How what?
27. How many times?
As many times as possible.
As many times as her pharmacy will allow you to do that.
And that would be the ideal person to hook up with. She's got the goods. No, I don't want to scorn her. This is what she wants to do with her life, and and like I said, it took her a long time to get there to be a pharmacist. She wants to show her body. Yeah. So be it.
Okay.
Let us get a lesson though. Everybody big, don't take off your clothes though. Please don't do that.
I want to talk about one more thing, and that is Yogi's Jewels today, which I think is interesting now that we're following this, the discussion about this young woman. Today's daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels: you are special because God says so. Ignore those who don't agree.
Right.
That's a good one. I think that the timing
apropos to the pharmacist, right? You're special. Yeah, she is special. She's special. Yeah, she's very special. Yeah. She's special. All right. Yes.
Are you selling nuts on the road?
Nuts are doing very well. We have a 3-pack. But if you go to my website right now, I have a giveaway. I'm giving away everything. It's going to be a once a month giveaway where we have nuts, hot sauce, fans, aprons, books, T-shirts. I even threw on a broke watch. All you got to do is register for it. It's the watch does
I
not
still
work.
have my J. Anthony Brown watch.
It doesn't work, right? Yours does not work.
No.
And, none of
And the
them work.
battery,
I'm giving that away.
the battery won't come out, so I can't.
I'm telling you before I send it to you, it doesn't work. Don't even. It
But
looks
I
good.
love your watches. I love
Go
your
to
watches. So go.
hotterinthemofo.com and register and for that giveaway. And the hot
Any
sauce is doing good.
medium suits? Any medium J. Anthony Brown collection suits?
No, I'm not doing suits this year. I'm just focused on the hot sauce. Are you familiar with Clubhouse?
Yes.
Have you hooked on to it
No.
yet? I'm done. I'm going to be doing an Instagram and a Clubhouse so we can swap ideas about online.
When are you going to do this?
I'm going to do it very soon. I tried to go on Clubhouse the other day. I opened up a chat room, and nobody came on. Not one person.
Why
So I'm
didn't you
going to go
tell
back
us?
on. I'm going to go back on. I'll be back on this week, definitely. And please
Put it
go
on
get George
Instagram.
Wallace's book. I think he's in his third print. Didn't he say he's in his third print?
Jay, I hear people. Are you rolling a little something? I hear.
Oh
paper.
no, it's a plastic. It's a piece of
Oh, he
plastic.
does that. He does that.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
It's,
No, I'm not rolling
Jay,
anything.
it's irritating, is what they're saying.
Okay, I'll stop. Stop.
Okay, so watch out there now.
Yes, watch out there now. Go to hotterinthemofo.com for my hot sauces. Go to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all of them. I'm on all of them.
You're so hip and happening.
I'm hip and happening. Yes.
And let us know what Clubhouse, and we can promote it.
Okay, the Clubhouse will be J. Anthony Brown, and we're talking about online businesses and ideas. We'll just be swapping ideas about people who have online. Because I'm surprised that I'm not doing as well as I would like to do with my online business. There are people who don't have the notoriety that I do and are doing way, way better. So I want to find out and talk to people, what am I doing wrong to make it work? Because this is the way to go. People are home now, so they're shopping online. I know I do.
Yeah.
You shop online a lot?
Oh my God.
Yeah. If that FedEx truck goes by my house and doesn't drop off something, I got a little attitude.
Jay, are you watching anything new? You got anything new?
Other than I'm watching Your Honor. I'm watching that. Have you seen that?
Oh, I haven't gotten to the end of it, and I heard that was the ending was really good. Which was Sunday night.
And I watched a movie called The Vanish, which is really, really, really good. You cannot figure out what's happening in this movie. It's called The Vanish. Check it out.
Okay, so the movie that I just saw that has been a part of our conversation is the John David Washington and Zendaya movie.
What movie is this?
Malcolm and Marie.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that.
What'd you think?
Loved it. I loved it.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, but what do you think about it?
I thought it was just like being in another one of my bad relationships, watching people argue for an hour.
Here's the thing about that movie. Here's the thing about the movie, and I don't want to spoil it. The argument, it's about two people arguing, and I won't spoil it by telling the premise of the movie. He gets an award. He thanks everybody but his girlfriend. When they get back home, they have an argument. Here's my take on that movie. The argument does not start at the house. The argument starts when he brings his ass off that stage. The minute he walks from the podium to backstage with his girlfriend, she's got an attitude, and it starts there. I thought that was better than that Trent movie he did, because I couldn't figure that shit out for nothing.
Oh,
Tenet. And I didn't Tenet or what. And I wasn't thrilled by the little things either. The Denzel Washington movie. I didn't think that was his best work. I just didn't. I'm sorry.
So you saw the last Denzel movie. I haven't seen that one yet.
It's the little things.
Little things, yeah.
It was missing like little things, like a plot. It was missing some little things. What are you laughing at? It was missing some little things. Yeah, like a plot. The guy who starred in the movie, who did the Queen movie, what is his name? He played the Queen.
Oh yeah. Oh, Rami Malek. Romy Malek.
Sybil, if he said 5 lines in this movie, there's times when he just looks. I'm like, dude, say something. What the? We've seen what you look like. Say, where are your lines? Did you forget them?
Okay. The one thing that I do want to know from you about the Malcolm and Marie movie, were you disturbed about the age difference between them?
No.
Now, I dated guys older than me for a very long time. It didn't seem like she was too young for that part. And I really liked
it. It didn't seem like she was too. You think it seemed like she was too young?
Yeah.
No. No.
Okay.
But here's the thing that let's talk about it. What the hell? Had not the two met each other, you would have never had the masterpiece that he quote unquote created.
Right.
Because she had a great story, but he put he put the words to it and put it out. But in the end,
he had to do was thank her.
Yes. Yeah. He never did thank her. But like you're right.
That's all he had to do.
But I think both of them will get nominated.
Selfish bastard.
The scene with the knife.
Huh?
The scene with the knife was unbelievable, man. She really she sold me on that. So it was a great acting job. Like I said, it was better than his last movie that he did. So
and I just thought it was interesting. I just, but what do I know? Don't forget, our friend Dr. Skip Gates is on PBS tonight. That's coming on any minute here, Central Time, about the Black church. And Dr. Skip Gates, who would always laugh at Jay and me whenever we said, it would be great if you did a Finding Your Roots dedicated to sidekicks. And if you would just find out where the sidekick families came from, and you go, so Tom.
He thought that was so funny, right? He really did.
I still love you, Dr. Gates. I still think you're a brilliant storyteller and historian. But damn it, you would not give us any shine. Wouldn't it be great? Like after you replay Tom's story and you find his roots, and then you say, and Tom, the people around you, just look at where they came from. Wouldn't it?
Right. The sidekick Hall of Fame. Why not? Why not, Sybil?
Come on. It's like, I can give you the number to 23andMe. Okay, my darling.
Thank you. Go to hollerinthemofo.com to buy my hot sauce. Be sure to check out George Wallace's book. I don't know. What is it called?
It's Bull
Tweet. Bull Tweet. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Check it out. Thank you, Sybil.
Thanks, Jay. Before we leave, yes, definitely, and good luck in Atlanta. Before we leave, we want you all to take a look at this and think about how this affects all of us.
He can tell you about their first dance, but he can't remember my name. I'm his daughter.
Half of all Black families are impacted by Alzheimer's, but we don't know why. At HSC, we are investing in a new research study to find solutions for your family. To join the research study, visit blackalzbrainstudy.com or call 817-735-2963.
And so we're going to be doing a special involving that too. So stay tuned for that. And we thank you very much for joining us. Stay warm. Check on folks because we're going to get more snow here in Texas tonight. And please be careful out there. And Jay, you be careful out there too.
I'm not even going out. I'm not going to go out.
Oh, because your stuff comes to you. I know.
Yes, all right, everybody. Later, Sybil.
Be safe. Thanks, Jay. We'll see you next